Pulling mobs through the Mist of Tirna Scythe maze has always been an important part of the strategy of this dungeon. Basically, since Shadowlands, you are able to pull mobs additionally through the wall to be able to give yourself more count. More often than not, this was done with, like, pets. That's not very efficient because, like, your pet can die. There's also a lot of times where you don't necessarily know what mobs you should be looking to pull through the wall. But there's one way that you can pull through pretty much any Mist of Tirna Scythe maze wall that doesn't involve sending pets and using pet attack with things like hunters and warlocks and whatever else. And it actually involves Death Knights. Now, you would think maybe, oh, okay, they got a ghoul. No, they're actually not using a ghoul. Instead, they're using Death Grip. And Death Grip is a little bit weird with this because all you have to do is basically put this defender on focus grip a mob, while having this extra defender targeted, as you see on screen right here. I'm just showing it as a POV from Terrathal because he was the player that I knew had probably done it the most recent. And so basically he has this mob on focus grips it with this other defender targeted, and then this pack pulls. How, you might ask? And it's through Subduing Grasp. And what that reads is when you pull an enemy, the damage they deal to you is reduced by 6% for 6 seconds. And so basically this mob gets tagged with Subduing Grasp and ends up pulling through the maze wall. And you can see right here, it ends up pulling. Now this works on pretty much any maze wall. So similar to how you would use like hunter pets, or I guess, well, I don't even know what the alternative would be to pull through the wall here. Not very much. The same way that you use hunter pets for other rooms, you can use Subduing Grasp for pretty much any room to be able to pull through the wall. Now, there are some packs that you should definitely avoid this on, and so I kind of want to take a second to kind of talk about what mobs are actually the most dangerous and what you should be really worried about. Of course, the casters are pretty obnoxious with things like Bramblethorn Coat from the Shapers, and then you get the Tenders with the Nourish of the Forest. If you're pulling packs with either of those mobs in it, you should kind of know that they're coming in advance so they don't actually end up healing. But by far the mob that is the most dangerous is the Guardian. The Guardian has an ability called Anima Slash, which is a magic damage tank hit. But the scarier part is actually the Empowered ability. And what this reads is, empowered nearby allies increase the damage done by 3% per mob that's nearby. And so if you have a pack of, I don't know, say 9 mobs, this thing's going to end up having 9 stacks of Empowered and just absolutely crush your tank as opposed to the 4 or 5 stacks that it's supposed to have normally. And so you kind of have to worry about the Guardians that are in the pull. So basically it's better to merge 2 non-Guardian packs together. Like this Stinger pack with this Guardian pack could absolutely be, like, these two could absolutely be merged in most circumstances. You also don't want too many of these Vulpin, these Stalkers with the Mistveil Tear. If you pull like 3 or 4 of these, you can also be in a lot of danger. So it's very integral that you actually know what you are pulling through the wall and what is reasonably capable of being pulled through the wall. The other cool thing that I've actually seen in Mist of Tirna Scythe recently, and we saw this a lot during beta, but I didn't necessarily talk about it too much, is that the Mistcaller Dodgeball ability actually kills off the Vulpin, and it can kill off the clone during the intermission. Now, the hitbox on this dodgeball is very narrow, but you can also just bring Mistcaller inside the clone and get the hits from a lot of them. But alternatively, you can just do what you see on screen right here from Dorky, where all of their players are standing opposite side of the boss relative to the clone, and then that dodgeball, like the boss is also very close to the clone, and then the dodgeball goes through that mob and gets hit for about 50% of its HP. And this actually allows you to speed up this phase by a tremendous amount, honestly increasing your success rate overall for Mist of Tirna Scythe. Now these two things, I wouldn't describe them as the most insane strats, but if you're looking for ways to be able to make up time, especially in a part of the dungeon that it's nearly impossible to make up time in, this is definitely the way to do it. You know, figure out how, like, if you play with a DK or you play as a DK, so doing Grasp is definitely going to be your friend. That's it. Hope to see you guys in tomorrow's video, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.